this evening we've got 3 segments. The first one, and I will say this, and I'm not trying to say this to be some sort of apologist or anything. I'm not trying to curry favor whatsoever. My wife's an excellent cook, and I'm not just saying that to ensure that she keeps feeding me, but really just as a practical observation from years and years and years of watching her do it. Sometimes, though, when you get out of your comfort zone and try something new, things don't always work out right.
And I don't ever post about things that don't work out right. Yeah. Until tonight.
Yeah, and I think the reason why this one is so important is because it's actually very kind of practical skills. Yeah. So I'll let you go into kind of the framework of what you were hoping to do.
Okay, do you want to tease the other 2 segments, or do you want me to just keep going?
No. We'll get to them.
Okay.
But we'll go into Tamara's first segment here, and we've got a little video to accompany it, but I'll let you lay the foundation for it.
So I love to cook. Anybody's ever watched my Facebook page or my Instagram, I love to cook, I love to bake, I love to try different things. I have never, ever canned. Even when this man canned sauerkraut, I kind of sat back and just sort of watched. So
that's actually a good point. I think that'd be a fun segment.
Yeah, for sure. Especially since mine didn't work out so well. So I have had a bumper crop of tomatoes. So thank you very much to Kimberly Santola and her amazing tomato plants, because I had a bumper crop of 4. I don't know if you remember prior session or prior show, we showed the video of it and it was totally out of control. And this is the year I learned that tomato cages are for chumps.
Yeah, waste of time.
Tomato cages are to look pretty and not to ever actually function for anything once they start growing.
Well, or maybe they're for an area where you don't have...
Where they don't grow?
Yeah, have the soil that we do.
So they grow here. So my tomato cages are like, 2 feet, 3 feet, somewhere in there. When I finally went out and I got the stakes and I ran some twine and I created little fences for mine, my tomatoes, some of them, if they were going straight up, they'd be 8 feet tall. Yeah. I mean, these are huge plants.
Yeah, you went lateral with them to try to manage it.
So each year I learned a little bit more. Next year, the stakes I'm putting in will probably be 7-foot spikes. Stakes. So at any rate,
I'm putting in, aka
this is true. This is true that I'm not putting in, that you're putting in. But amazing tomatoes this year. I ventured out. She had so many different flavors.
Ton of variety. I've now fallen in love with some of these. I don't know what their names are. We need to figure it out. Or maybe take some over and have her tell us.
Yeah.
Tomatoes that are now my favorite that I've never had before in my life until this season.
Little football-shaped yellow ones that are just sweet like fruit. Little dark black ones.
Yeah, do they call them black tops or something?
I don't know
like
what they are. I think they were chocolate something or other. Anyways, absolutely amazing. Another that kind of ends up looking like a muscadine grape. Just wonderful, wonderful tomatoes. So I had lots and lots of tomatoes, more than I could keep up with. So I decided, well, maybe now's the time to start to learn to can. So I got the USDA canning book, the Bible for canning.
And for Tamara's purposes, she was using it for consideration around the tomatoes. I use the same book for my sauerkraut that I make. I got into making sauerkraut a couple seasons ago. I actually will do a video on that because I went from no experience to just totally hooked on making sauerkraut. If it's not your thing, that's fine. But I will say if you've fermented your own, it may turn you into a fan. But this tells you everything you need about what kind of canning process is best for beans versus tomatoes versus fruits versus meats.
Yeah, meats, spaghetti sauce with meat, spaghetti sauce without meat. When do you do the pressure cooker? When does hot water suffice?
Hot water bath. But regardless, it has everything based on your elevation,
and actually,
how much time you put on it.
You ordered that for me. So where did that come off of line, or where did that come from?
Yeah, I got it online, but this is the USDA's edition. This is their 2015 edition. I think this is the most current edition, but regardless, it's important from a health standpoint. You want to follow the guidelines that are reflected in here. But needless to say, this is something for anybody that's interested in canning. You essentially have to have it, in my opinion.
Yeah. So let's just put it this way. It didn't work out so well. So let's go ahead and start the video, and I'll show you a little bit about what happened.
Or didn't happen. Huh. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember a distinct moment where she was like, now watch this. And she picks up a jar of store-bought and goes, click, dump.
Beautiful.
Wow. So, yeah, I actually tasted it.
You didn't actually taste it, though, did you? You
Yeah,
tasted it
no,
when
I
ma-
did
Oh, you
taste
did.
it.
Okay.
And it just was, it was interesting. It wasn't really tomato in any vibrant sense. It
No.
almost like stripped the flavor out of it.
And I don't even know.
After the seasoning.
It wasn't even the canning process that did this. It was just
Yeah.
my cooking process, and I don't
And
have any
it was
idea.
actually almost more like a paste.
Yeah.
Than
and
it was a
and
sauce.
I kept adding water to try and counteract that, but it just didn't work. And
Yeah.
it just kept getting dingier and dingier and dingier.
Yeah, I think dingy is a good word.
Yeah, it is. It's a bad word, but it's a good description.
It's typically not what you want to associate with your meals.
So I can't say that I will never ever do this again, but Lord Almighty, that was a lot to me. That was a lot of tomatoes
And a lot of work and a lot of
and
time.
a lot of work and a lot of dishes. A whole lot of dishes that don't go into the dishwasher that have to be hand washed. So I was like, of that for 2 jars.
Was it even 2 jars?
I think it probably would have been.
I'm not certain that it would have actually ever gotten to the 2-jar mark.
I don't know. But okay, so the first lesson, the baby tomatoes are wonderful. They do not work for canning at all. Trying to get the little seeds out.
Oh, true.
Never,
yeah.
ever again. They have to, if you're going to deal with them, they got to be meaty enough that it's worth the time.
So is it fair to say that big tomatoes and then such that you can carve out the seeds?
Easily.
It still seems like a huge mess.
It is a huge mess.
At least thankfully, this is one thing I will say, and this is kind of a bit of teaser for show to come, but just in comparison, I know for my sauerkraut, I chop up the cabbage, add my salt, tamp it in, add a little water if I need it, done. And the mess is really nothing more than maybe a bowl where I'm tossing the salt and the cabbage together.
Yeah, there's a little more to it for tomatoes, apparently.
Oh, yeah, but volume-wise, I get like 5 big, huge quarts of sauerkraut by the time it's done fermenting. And the beauty of it is I can have that the rest of the season. The tomatoes, it seems like you're just kind of hamstrung. It takes a fair amount of them, a ton of time, questionable
And I just kept thinking, I could
quality.
just go buy a jar and put a jar on the shelf.
Yeah, literally, if you're, somebody that's focused on the future, just go buy 20 jars. It's far better use of your time, effort, and I think the frustration goes with it. A lot of things when you try them for the first time, if they're overly frustrating, do you want to go back and even try?
You're just like, ugh,
there's nothing
right out of it.
Nothing
but like
in
I
it.
said, I don't give up on everything, just like that.
Sure.
But I'm going to sit and figure out what the heck I did wrong before I ever try again.
Yeah, maybe watch a video or something. Because there's got to be folks.
Gosh,
you did watch videos.
I always watch a ton of videos before I start anything.
Huh. Okay. Well, that was one of the few errors.
You're sweet.
That you've ever made. But
that's the only one that I've shown. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, this is uncharted territory saying here's how to screw up. But by you learning from her mistakes, hopefully you can be wiser.
Hey, there are canners out there, I'm sure, who can tell me, maybe based on the little bit that you saw there, where did I go awry? First of all, I recognize the small tomatoes are a really bad idea. So I got that one, check. What else? Did you see something that I did? I know I couldn't get all the seeds out, but I wouldn't have thought that would have done that. But
are the seeds like such a deterrent to the thing?
I don't know. Everything I read says get the seeds out.
Get the seeds out.
Get the seeds out. I'm not really sure why. So